evacuation orders, you should evacuate now. You should have already evacuated. It's a matter of life and death.
Welcome back to America Decides. That is a presidential plea to those in the path of Hurricane Milton. President Biden was also asked about something we just talked about, those peddling disinformation about storm relief. Let's listen.
Those who do it to try to damage the administration. Well, we can take care of ourselves. But it misleads people. It puts people in circumstances where they panic.
Senior advisor to the president, Tom Perez, joins us now. Tom, you've heard the president talk about this. Local officials in the path of Hurricane Milton have said to residents, if you intend to stay in designated evacuation areas, you could very likely die as a result of this storm. Sometimes local officials are accused of hyping things. It doesn't feel or look like this is hyping.
This is not hyping. This is about getting people to listen to their local officials and move out of harm's way. If you are subject of an evacuation order, please heed it. We don't want to go to funerals. We want to make sure that everybody is safe. And that's exactly what we're doing now. The preparation is ongoing. We have over 1,000 federal personnel on the streets getting ready for this. We have 20 million meals pre-positioned. We have 40 million liters of water. We have all sorts of equipment to enable us to address the aftermath. We're here to help everybody. And the most important thing that people could do right now is heed the evacuation orders.
Tom, I want to ask you about something I saw from one of the local leaders who said, if you're going to stay, please do us a favor. Use a Sharpie, write your name on your arm so we can identify you when we find you. That's an alarming image. Is that an image that's consistent with what the White House believes this storm could actually do to those areas most in the target range?
Oh, this storm has potentially catastrophic consequences. And that's what the experts are telling us. And this is a storm, barely 10 days removed from Helene. And so we have to make sure we take these admonitions seriously. This is no moment to say, well, I don't know if I agree with that. Please trust the experts. If you have been the subject of an evacuation order, get out. And that way you and your family won't be wondering down the road, where are you?
You mentioned Helene. One of the things that I think the audience should be mindful of, when ground is saturated, as it is in Florida, as it is in other places, but particularly in the line of fire of this storm, saturated ground makes it much more difficult for storm surge or rain to go to new places. It just becomes much more of a localized problem that intensifies very, very rapidly. One of your concerns has to be that.
Absolutely, and especially in Tampa, which is an area that is a potential bullseye. If the storm, as predicted, moves west to east, that's the worst possible trajectory because as folks down there know, Tampa is at sea level. And so even if it moves over Tampa as a Category 3 or a Category 4, the category doesn't necessarily predict what the storm surge will be. And so that's why it's so important to evacuate, because a Category 3 storm could still have storm surge that can have real life and death consequences, which is why heeding the admonition of folks is so critically important at this moment.
Do you believe it will be necessary before the election, Tom, for the president to call Congress back to authorize and appropriate more funds, both for Helene, but also now Milton?
No, the president has said, and the FEMA director has said, that we have the resources to get us through these storms right now. But it's equally clear that the president, and he has said this, will be asking Congress for an additional appropriation. The consequences of the upcoming storm and Helene are literally in the billions of dollars. When we reached the agreement a few weeks ago to keep the government open until December 20th, we had asked Congress for more money for storm-related issues. We couldn't get the Republicans to agree. I'm hopeful that this time, in the run-up to December 20th, when we have to fund the federal government for the next fiscal year, I'm hopeful and confident that we will come together in a bipartisan way. I wish it had been done before, but they didn't want to do it. But this time around, I'm hopeful that that will happen.
Tom, as you well know, the president is in Milwaukee today. He's making an announcement about an EPA rule related to lead pipes. Explain why that's part of the pitch in the final month of this campaign.
Well, getting rid of all lead-infested service lines has been a mantra for President Biden and Vice President Harris since 2021. They made a commitment that we will get rid of and replace all lead service lines in homes and in critical businesses like daycare centers in the next 10 years. This is a public health imperative, and today's announcement is the culmination of quite literally years of work and the passage of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which contains dedicated funding to make sure we implement this. Lead in your bloodstream, there is no acceptable level of lead, Major, for anyone, especially youngsters. And this is something that the president has been calling for since day one, and the vice president as well. And I'm very excited about it. And the reason he's in Milwaukee, in no small measure, is that Wisconsin has been ahead of the curve. A number of jurisdictions along the Great Lakes region, like Milwaukee and Detroit, got a head start on lead pipe replacement by using some of their original dollars they got through the American Rescue Plan. They now have money through the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and they're going to, I'm sure, meet and probably exceed that 10-year replacement goal to get them all replaced. That's really important, and it's a basic human right. You shouldn't worry about whether the water you drink is going to hurt you or possibly even kill you.
Tom Perez coming to us via Zoom in Chicago. Thank you very much for your time as always.
Thank you.